ช่วง Biz Focus สนับสนุนโดย
พลิกทุกข์เป็นสุขเริ่มที่ใจรู้จักพอ
ต้องเริ่มจากพลิกใจให้พอเพียง
มาร่วมพลิกใจกับโครงการรักป่าสร้างคน84ตำบลวิถีพอเพียงของปตท.
สำนักงานคณะกรรมการกิจการกระจายเสียงกิจการโทรทัศน์และกิจการโทรคมนาคมแห่งชาติ
ท่านผู้ชมคะกลับเข้ามาสู่ช่วงที่2ของ Biz Focus นะคะช่วงนี้คือช่วงเคล็ดลับการบริหารธุรกิจค่ะวันนี้ค่ะรายการของเราได้รับเกียรตินะคะให้มาสัมภาษณ์ CEO ของ GroupM Media Agency ระดับแนวหน้าของเอเชียอาคเนย์เลยนะคะซึ่งวันนี้ค่ะคุณเควิน คลาร์กมาอยู่กับเราตอนนี้แล้วค่ะ Hello Mr. Kevin
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ So would you please tell us about your background, your brief history?
My brief history? Okay.
Yes.
I'm from Australia originally, and I moved from Australia in the early 90s to go into China. The company I was working for in Sydney was looking for someone, I think they phrased it to go on a big adventure, which it was because China had outlawed advertising for about 20 years. So there was no advertising industry there. So I saw it as a big challenge and went into China and spent several years doing that, building a company from a very small office of just 4 or 5 people into, by the time I left, about 250 people across 4 offices.
I see.
And from billings from $2 million to $250 million. So it was a very exciting time.
I see.
And after that, I moved to Hong Kong to run some regional accounts for the agency I was working for there. And then they asked me to come down to Thailand to help set up Mindshare, which was the founding company within GroupM. So I moved down here at the end of the 90s to set up Mindshare, and I ran that for about 5 or 6 years. And then ran one of our media agencies for the region for the next 5 years, which is Mediacom, and helping building that within GroupM. When I took it over, it was about 120 people, and we grew it into more than 700 people over that time. So again, another very exciting period. But last year, the job here in Thailand became available, and I was tired with the travel and looking forward to coming home to Thailand.
So you chose to come back to Thailand?
I chose to come back. I asked if I could take this role.
Oh, why you chose to come to Thailand? What's the reason behind that?
Well, Thailand's been my home since the end of the 90s when I first moved down here. And I feel a strong attachment to the country here, to the company that we've built up. When we started Mindshare here, it was about 45 people. Now across the whole of GroupM, we're more than 400 people.
It's a lot bigger.
Yeah, and a lot of those people, a lot of the senior people who've been with the company for a long time. So particularly last year when there was so much trouble in Thailand, and I was sort of sitting in my regional job and sitting in Singapore and looking what was going on, I felt, when I heard the job was becoming available, I felt that it was time for me to come back.
I see.
Yeah, I have a great attachment to the company here.
I see. And please tell me the background of the company, GroupM.
The GroupM?
Yes.
GroupM was formed at about 1997.
Yes.
We started in Asia first of all, and then after Asia it went worldwide, so we really led the way here. And it was formed by taking...
Why Asia?
Why Asia? Because Asia was the big opportunity. You know, the company WPP saw Asia as being the big growth opportunity.
I see.
Even back then. It's more so now.
I see.
So we started in Asia, and we brought together the media operations of JWT and Ogilvy, 2 WPP agencies, to form Mindshare. And after Mindshare, then we formed the other agencies, including Mediacom, Media Edge, and Maxis.
I see. And please tell me your vision and management style in the world of no boundaries.
In the world
in
of
the
no
era
boundaries.
of globalization.
Okay. Within the company, we work a lot with global clients. Probably about 50% of our clients are global. And they're very much looking for the same level of service everywhere in the world as they grow their business. So we've been very much dedicated to focusing on excellence in what we do and being the best that we can be, and making sure that we have the same level of service everywhere in the world.
I see.
And the key to that for us is really talent development, particularly as the industry is changing so much. We're looking at a very exciting couple of years ahead as everything becomes more and more digital. And what's happened in the past is not so relevant anymore. So we need to create an environment for people that challenges them, that supports them to take chances and try new things and to learn from those things and move forward.
I see. Mr. Kevin, how should the market prepare to enter the ASEAN Economic Community?
The AEC is just the next sort of step in globalization and what's happening. I mean, the big changes for consumers are being driven by technology. Everyone now is much more connected than they ever have before, which is sort of leading the whole social media revolution. And because of that, advertisers and clients really need to rethink and are rethinking how they communicate with consumers. The old day of mass communications, what we call as one-way communications of just a message going to the consumer and then hoping the consumer reacts, are gone. And really more and more clients need to be looking at how to have a conversation with consumers, how to get their attention, how to get their interest, where and when to talk to them in an effective way, and then to help to measure that communication and how it's going. Treat it like a long-term relationship. It's something that needs to be nurtured and kept fresh the whole time. So it's a major shift in the way that I think advertisers have regard to consumers. And Thailand entering the AEC is just part of that broadening of boundaries and bringing down of boundaries between countries.
Do you think there's a big change in consumer behavior?
Huge changes in consumer behavior. You only have to walk around any of the central areas in Bangkok to see everyone staring at their mobile phones.
Yes, smartphones.
Yeah, smartphones.
Yes.
I mean, true, it's only a small part of the population, but it's growing very quickly. You know, as the price of those smartphones come down, as we get 3G, hopefully, and 4G rolled out, and all of that becomes much more affordable, then you'll find that people are being a lot more interactive, and as I said, a lot more connected than ever before.
All right. And what is the direction of human resources strategy and marketing strategy?
For HR, we're very much focused on how we develop talent in the company. And young people more than ever have a lot to contribute because they're part of this revolution. So we're looking at young people that come into the company and how they contribute much earlier than perhaps they did in the past. When I was young, entering an agency, we were sort of put in the corner and left there for some time while we did very boring tasks. And these days, that's not right.
Really?
We have to engage younger people in the company much sooner. And they have a lot more to contribute.
How?
Because they understand social, they understand digital, they're living it day by day. I mean, all our staff are on Facebook, and I encourage that, because it keeps them up to date, and they know how to communicate in that environment. So that's very exciting. We want to create a culture that encourages people to try new things and to be innovative, which means you have to create a sense of comfort in the company. They have to feel secure that the company supports them to do new things. So we're working very hard on that.
So it's one of your company culture?
Yes.
To create the innovation and...
Yeah. I mean, we're the leading media agency group in Thailand. We control now around 40% of the market. As leaders, we have to be leaders. We have to be the first to do things.
I see.
And we're constantly looking at how we can do new things in the market,
I see.
which makes a great training ground as well. And it's one of the reasons that we're being successful at bringing people into the company and keeping them for a long time, because there is so much opportunity in the company because we're always trying to push the industry on.
So, Mr. Kevin, what is the pro and con in your perspective for Thailand entering AEC?
Okay, obviously there's a lot of opportunity because, as I mentioned before, Asia is really sort of the growth center for the world and leading the way. You've got the emergence of two superpowers with China and India coming up. In that environment, within Asia, it'd be very easy, I think, for a lot of the smaller economies to be overshadowed. Forming a bloc like the AEC will help make sure that doesn't happen, and to make sure the countries can take advantage of all the opportunities, as will all the other trading blocs in the world. The difficult part, as if you look at Europe, it's not easy to do. But my understanding of the plans of the AEC are a little bit simpler than the Europe ones, and hopefully we'll avoid some of the pitfalls.
ท่านผู้ชมคะเป็นบทสนทนาที่น่าสนใจมากนะคะถ้ายังไงเราไปพักชมโฆษณากันสักครู่แล้วกลับมาต่อกันสู่ช่วงที่2ของรายการค่ะ
ช่วง Biz Focus สนับสนุนโดย
พลิกทุกข์เป็นสุขเริ่มที่ใจรู้จักพอมาร่วมพลิกใจกับโครงการรักป่าสร้างคน84ตำบลวิถีพอเพียงของปตท.
สำนักงานคณะกรรมการกิจการกระจายเสียง กิจการโทรทัศน์และกิจการโทรคมนาคมแห่งชาติ
ใจนับล้านล่องลอยไกลใจถูกความฝันพัดพาไปใจเล็กๆหลงทางอยู่กลางโลกฝันเพราะตัวเธอนั้นไม่เคยพลิกดูใจเมื่อตัวกับใจห่างชีวิตก็พลันเปลี่ยนที่เคยสุขก็มีแต่ทุกข์ใจ
พลิกทุกข์เป็นสุขเริ่มที่ใจรู้จักพอ
ต้องเริ่มจากพลิกใจให้พอเพียง
มาร่วมพลิกใจกับโครงการรักป่าสร้างคน84ตำบลวิถีพอเพียงของปตท.
ผู้ชมทราบหรือไม่ครับว่าคุณสามารถเปลี่ยนเครือข่ายโทรศัพท์มือถือจากเดิมที่คุณใช้อยู่ไปสู่เครือข่ายโทรศัพท์มือถือผู้ให้บริการรายใหม่ได้ครับโดยที่คุณยังสามารถใช้เบอร์โทรศัพท์เบอร์เดิมได้อยู่ทำได้ทั้งแบบเติมเงินและรายเดือนด้วยวิธีง่ายๆครับเพียงแค่คุณแจ้งความประสงค์ขอโอนย้ายณจุดบริการของผู้ให้บริการรายใหม่ที่คุณต้องการโดยเสียค่าธรรมเนียมไม่เกิน99 บาทต่อ1หมายเลขในการโอนย้ายแต่ละครั้งครับใช้เวลาในการดำเนินการไม่เกิน3วันครับในช่วงที่รอการโอนย้ายคุณก็ยังสามารถใช้บริการของผู้ให้บริการรายเดิมได้ตามปกติครับจนกว่าจะได้รับ SMS ยืนยันจากผู้ให้บริการรายใหม่ว่าได้ทำการโอนย้ายให้คุณเรียบร้อยแล้วเพียงแค่นี้คุณก็นำซิมการ์ดจากผู้ให้บริการรายใหม่มาใช้ในหมายเลขเดิมได้เลยนะครับและที่สำคัญคุณยังสามารถเปลี่ยนรูปแบบการใช้งานโทรศัพท์มือถือจากเดิมที่เคยใช้แบบเติมเงินก็สามารถเปลี่ยนมาใช้แบบรายเดือนได้หรือถ้าใช้แบบรายเดือนอยู่อยากจะเปลี่ยนมาใช้แบบเติมเงินก็สามารถทำได้นะครับ
ค่ายใหม่เบอร์เดิมบริการดีๆจากกสทช.สำนักงานคณะกรรมการกิจการกระจายเสียง กิจการโทรทัศน์และ